when an individual's personality changes radically because of disease or injury, should this changed individual be treated as the same person? It's profound.
So we wanted to get these two very different groups of people who are thinking about very similar topics and dealing with very similar topics to see if we could learn from each other, not only as individual scholars, but also as different disciplines. And to approach this question of personal identity, we posed to our philosophers and our neuroscientists some very concrete cases, 4 cases of men with different kinds of brain disorder or disease. These included frontotemporal dementia, Alzheimer's, steroid psychosis, and Parkinson's disease followed by deep brain stimulation as a treatment.
And so we thought it would be a really, really good thing to try to locate some areas of philosophy where people hadn't worked well with, or worked at all really, with neuroscientists, and try to figure out whether we could get them all together. So we chose personal identity largely just because it was such a very interesting topic, and again, one where there just hadn't been a lot of collaboration between philosophers and scientists. On the one hand, can philosophers bring that kind of understanding of what the questions really are? And can neuroscientists bring to us a much clearer understanding than your average philosopher is ever likely to have of what exactly it is that's going on in these cases? And is there some way in which we can put these things together in a useful, fruitful way? Whether we actually succeeded in doing that, only you can say, but only if you read the book. Thank you very much.
I've done volunteer work in prisons for the last 10 years, and I'm not a trained therapist. I just go and listen to people who don't have other visitors, and there are lots of those. And a number of the people that I go and just listen to are people who are sex offenders. But if you were able, through deep brain stimulation to curb those sorts of desires, I'm really wondering about the ethics of that. Would it be proper to release such a person back into society because he's not the person who was convicted?
The question you raise is very interesting, not only in light of, about questions of forced treatment. So there was recently a paper that talked to patients who came, about 100, I think it was 115 or so patients who came into a hospital psychotic. They were treated against their will. And for those who regained competence, they asked them, are you angry with us for treating you against your will? And 83% of them said, I'm fine with it. In terms of what we need to think about going forward, certainly in the case of deep brain stimulation, we need to start thinking about, we need to start collecting data. We need to start figuring out what counts as a change significant enough to be called a change in personal identity, if we think, like some do, that such a thing is possible. And how to inform people about that, how to inform patients and their families about that, how to provide services after the fact to support people going through some of these things.